Hello everybody, Nilta here, back to you for another sound demo by request. This time is Jonathan who asked me to do a sound demo for this beautiful and very unique guitar. Okay, it's a Zen-On CM-300 made in, not in but on actually, the 18th of January 1953. So 18th of January 1953. You guys work out how old this guitar is. And it's in pristine condition, beautiful condition. It's got some tiny marks, but negligible. It won't affect the sum at all. Now, some specs of this guitar is, let's start with the cosmetic specs. Okay, first thing you see is the guitar is called Minstrel. It's from a Minstrel series from the 1950s. Okay, and made by Zen-On. Zen-On is a Japanese company who was founded in 1931, and they started selling music sheets and published music sheets. And then later on, from 1950s up to the 70s, they boomed, they exploded, and they commissioned and made and distributed guitars such as this one here. Yeah, and they also made also other instruments like violin, ukulele, guitars, bass, anything they could sell. Okay, so this one is Zen-On Minstrel CM-300, and the minstrel part of it is here. Look, first of all, you can see the name Minstrel in gold. Yeah, and he has carved in and repurpling. It's got the motif of the minstrel head. Minstrel were musicians at court. In the old days, we had no electricity, so when a king or a noble person wants to hear music, they would say, "Hey, you, minstrel, come and play me some music," and that was their way of enjoying music. Okay, so here, the minstrel head motif, which is repeated here at the sound hole on the fretboard. See that one there, very unique. Okay, now the keys, tuning keys, are beautiful as well. See, it's all tied in with the minstrel theme. Yeah, yeah. It's got, and here at the back as well, it was telling you this is typical of the 1950s. Yeah, and then 1960 we got the herringbone, same thing about herringbone, and it's got the white purflings and so on. A lot of details here going on. Typical 1950s rosette. But the one thing I want to show you is very interesting thing, structurally. Okay, so first thing here on the bridge, you see, it's got a compensated bridge which you can adjust. It's got a wedge here. Let me see, I can show you on the camera here. Okay, so it's got a wedge there, a piece of wood there, and your saddle. Now you could, this guitar actually was made for both steel string and nylon string. Okay, if you were to put steel string, you would move that saddle there back this way, okay, and put the wedge on the other side of the saddle, so it would compensate. It would fix the intonation. How clever is that? Very clever. It's the first time I've seen in a classical guitar. Okay, so you can adjust the intonation by moving the wedge there. Yeah. You can move it up and down, left, right, or swap the sides to compensate the intonation. Okay. Now, the other thing, interesting thing structurally of this guitar is that although it's a nylon string guitar, the bracings are different because it's a folk guitar. Now, there's some confusion sometimes on the internet. Last week I did some demo for a guitar. It's thin body guitar, electric, which was designed for stage use. So being a thin body is more comfortable, but the sound won't be as loud as a big full-size guitar, right? It wasn't designed to be acoustic guitar, but electric. So this viewer on YouTube said, "You confused me. I had doubts by buying another string guitar." Well, let's not confuse the string, the nylon string, with the tool. Okay, this is a tool. This is the string. Just because nylon string doesn't mean it has to be classical. It could be used for any purpose. This guitar is a folk guitar with nylon strings. Okay, folk guitar. Folk requires Normally, you play in the open. It's very loud on campsites, and in the open and outdoor, basically. So, being an outdoor guitar, it has to be loud. What helps with that is the spruce top, and you really need one of these to make it loud. Okay, so it's loud already by itself. Yeah, acoustic is loud because it's spruce top, but to make the most of it, you need a pick. Okay, now the guitar was designed to use both with nylon string and with steel strings. The original rollers here were made of metal, right? Which I replaced with hard plastic, make it look nice. But you could use steel strings in this one here. And to make sure the top doesn't topple, crack, and fly away with the steel string pressure, they have reinforced the guitar differently. Okay, the typical classic guitar have braces inside. Some will have 5 braces, so 1 in the middle here, 2 here, and 2 here, so 5 braces. Yeah. Then we got the traditional way, which is 7 braces, 7 of these. So 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on this side, so 7 braces. And the top teeth is more solid, give you more punch, the more rigid sound. Some common like Takamine, we have 6 of these inside. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 there. I'm sorry, I count. Anyway, we got it's supposed to be 7 braces, but they leave 1 blank out here. So to get more bass response, this is Takamine, and so on. This particular guitar, being a folk guitar, it has to be stronger to be able to take the steel string tension. So what we've done is we braced it like an X brace, like a dreadnought guitar, like a modern dreadnought guitar. So we had something like this inside. Oops, sorry, excuse me. So something like this inside, like that. Yeah, 2 big ones, like that, like that. How interesting, isn't it? Yeah, but here we saw these 2 extensions there, so it became like a big V, like that now, like that. So structurally, it's very strong. It's braced like an acoustic guitar, yeah, like a dreadnought guitar, like X braced. So you can take the steel string, and that, to make the most of the X brace, you really need a pick. Okay, got it? Okay, just because nylon doesn't mean it has to be classical. It can be used as classical, but don't confuse the material, the string, with the tool, the purpose of the guitar. Yeah, some guitars, even the steel strings, you have different shapes inside. You got your dreadnought, which is a big, huge size. You got your grand auditorium. You got your triple O and the O size, and your parlor guitar, which is your jazz box, and you got all sorts of guitars. With the nylon strings, you got your classical, you got your flamenco, you got your small body classical, you got your just because nylon, you got your Japanese koto. You can use nylon string on the guzen, use on the charango from Latin America, use it on the whatever instrument I have here. So don't confuse the strings with the tool, which is the guitar. This guitar is a folk guitar. Yeah, I hope it explains it. Some people believe or think that just because nylon has to be classical. No, this is a folk nylon guitar. Okay, so it's like I was to play something without a pick. It's still nice and beautiful. One thing, because it's folk, right? And stroke needs to be strum, the string will oscillate and vibrate. So the action has to be higher than usual, maybe half a mil higher, so that it doesn't buzz. And that's typical of a folk nylon string guitar. Okay, now some finger picking. picking of this beautiful folk nylon guitar, Zen-On CM-300. Okay, but as I was mentioning, the best way to use this guitar is for outdoor use or in very loud settings with a pick. Okay, so it's loud, gets very loud. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot play a typical classical guitar with a pick. You can, but it wasn't designed to take all the abuse from a pick. Okay, this one is designed to do that. Is this guitar going to be as loud as a dreadnought? Nope, because nylon string are never as loud as steel string. But is it louder than a standard classical guitar? Yes, if you use a pick, for sure. And it was designed for that, okay? So let's do it again, yeah. Rattling. Just notice something. Notice how the nylon string wobbles so much compared to the steel string, and because that it needs more clearance. Okay, so I'm gonna play here. Hopefully you can see from this angle, a bit back. Okay, see. Hopefully you can see the how string wobbles. Okay, here we go. Can you see it? Bit too far. But anyway, it wobbles a lot, so you need a lot of clearance. So when you strum like that, normally the action should be about 3.8 millimeters at least. Yeah, it's not steel string. Okay, so with steel string you will have something like 2 mil here and 2.5 here. This is for classical, add an extra mil on top of it. For folk, add an extra half a mil on top of it too. So. This is Spanish. No. So there you are. Beautiful folk guitar, nylon string folk guitar. Yeah, so I might do another video in the future about the purpose or different use of nylon string guitars. Nylon string, again, I keep repeating it because I had a few comments of people misunderstanding or confusing the string, the material, with the purpose, the tool. For example, let's say the most common material at the moment, say steel, stainless steel. Just because it's stainless steel doesn't mean it has to be a knife. It could be a knife, could be a fork, it could be a spoon. Same with plastic. You can get plastic spoon, plastic fork, plastic knife. Depends on what you use it for. Yeah, and the purpose ultimately. Okay, so this is basically is for people who are used to the classical guitar, want to be louder and want to play with a pick. Okay, that's it. Simple as that. That's its purpose. So I hope that answers some of your questions. I hope it. Jonathan, you happy with the some demo? Yeah. Any comments? Leave below. Any more questions? Leave comment below. Don't forget to give me a thumb up, like, and subscribe to my channel, please. My channel is very small. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm only do this to demo the sound of the guitar to my customers who are intending to buy my guitars. So subscribe anyway and give us a thumb up. Okay. So I'll see you in the next video. It's coming up in about a minute or so. and it's gonna be a baritone classical guitar. Just because again, it's not a string, doesn't have to be standard classical. Next one is a baritone classical guitar. Cheers.